I'll call my shot now. Kris Bubic is going to be an all-star this year. I don't see any reason why this is just going to slow down for this guy. And this is everything the Royals could have dreamed from him when they drafted him in 2018 to him being a minor league pitcher of the year in all of minor league baseball. Through the trials and tribulations, he went through early in his career to Tommy John, to being an elite reliever, to now being an elite starting pitcher. One Royal Way back at it here on Kansas City Sports Network. I'm Joel Penfield. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed on all platforms, audio and video side. Hit those notification bells on all platforms so you know when these episodes go up or when we go live on YouTube. We are not tonight. You guys are seeing this on Wednesday morning. I'm recording, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes after the Royals got walked off by the Astros on Tuesday night. But we'll be live on Thursday night at 8:30 Central. It's going to be an off day, first off day in a while for this team. So we'll have time to talk about the last game of the series, hit a little minor leagues, get into the weekend against the Cardinals. So be sure to come hang out there. I'll post the link a couple hours before in the afternoon on Twitter. You can go there, or if you'd like I said, if you guys turn those notifications on YouTube, you'll know when we go live. You can hop in the chat, ask questions, and we'll have a good time on Thursday night. Before we get into the first two games of this Houston series, this show, as always, brought to you by Emprise Bank. Member FDIC, our partners in possible here at Kansas City Sports Network and on this show, One Royal Way. We can't thank them enough for that support. I'm going to go and talk about the game on Monday first, and then we'll get into the game tonight. Obviously, a tough one tonight, but yesterday a little bit better. The Royals win 7-5. The offense kind of breaks out a little bit in the first couple of innings. They got to the Ricky Ryan Gusto, who had a tough time. They were jumping on everything with him. Massey gets him for the homer, and then they end up putting up a crooked number, which is something this offense has struggled to do at times, and just kind of frenzy hit. But they did that in this game. Massey hits the homer, and then as the lineup continues to go, India gets the hit, and Bobby triples and Vinny singles. Odd in the inning, which was, everything that this team needed just to get some runs going. And get the offense going a little bit after a really tough stretch against the Red Sox. They scored 4 runs in that second inning alone, and they scored 4 runs in that entire series against the Red Sox. So you saw them get rolling a little bit there, and then they keep it going in the third. Waters with a single, India with a single, and then Bobby sac fly. It's 7-0, and you're sitting there like, man, with the way this pitching staff is going, we got a shot here to just cruise. And it seemed like they were going to for a little bit. It gets a little hairy in the late innings there. It ends up being 7-5, but Estevez comes in the ninth, and there's no question about it. Gets out of the inning without much concern. Michael Wacha was great again in this game without a ton of whiffs, a ton of strikeouts. I think he only had 3 in the game. Walked 2, gives up a couple earned, and it was when they brought him back out for the 8th pitch count was low enough. It made sense. I'm not questioning that decision. He got knocked around a little bit, 2 runs score, and it messes up his line a little bit. But regardless, the ERA is now 2.96. It's 4 consecutive quality starts for him. He has continued to pitch incredibly well this year, and you kind of knew, you know what you're going to get with Michael Wacha for the most part. A guy that's been around the block for quite a bit. In this 4-game stretch where he's had 4 consecutive quality starts, which is 6 innings or more and 3 runs or less, a fairly arbitrary number, but it's something that's used across baseball. He's gone 25 2/3 innings, 17 strikeouts, 6 walks, only 1 home run given up. A 1.75 ERA. The FIP's around 3, but that is due to the walks more than anything. Not giving up a lot of hard contact. And the left on base percentage is 86.5%. He did that a lot last year, where there was some amount of kind of dancing through the raindrops to get through some of these outings. But when you're a guy that it doesn't rely heavily on strikeouts, you can get an early count ground ball, get out of an inning. And he's done a really good job of that. But overall, I mean, a solid outing. They kind of soured on him there a little bit in the seventh, but you're up 7-2, so it's fine. Like, he gives up a couple and it's okay. Offensively, I mentioned they kind of got it rolling a little bit there. The bullpen was a little there was one guy that was a little spotty, but Shriver comes in, gives you 2/3, 2 strikeouts, and cleans up that inning and doesn't allow any more damage after Waka comes out. But it's 7-2, and Steven Cruz, who's been great this year, and we talked about that on this show quite a bit, that, he's kind of entered that trust factor. He's a guy that you can trust in some of these situations, and felt like a good spot to get him. He had some sort of mechanical quirk where he was just yanking the ball arm side, glove side. I apologize. Like, he was yanking it into the left-hand batter's box. Slider, fastball, didn't matter. And he hits a guy, gives up some contact when he's able to get back in the zone, and he got knocked around a little bit. Well, he eventually gets back into the strike zone, gets a strikeout, but only gets a third of an inning. And then Ursig comes in, gets the last 2, and you're fine. Estevez comes out for the 9th. But it was just like an odd thing. But I'm not concerned about Steven Cruz. It was just one of those outings. But the fastball velocity was still there. He was able to work it back, which was something that I was looking for. Because you could tell something's not right there. He's flying open a little bit and just letting it's just riding into the left-hand batter's box. But over the course of the inning, he was able to get back in the strike zone. Once he was able to land some stuff in the zone, it was fine, but you just could tell something was off early. But it is what it is. This was a game where we want to see them continue to get runners in scoring position. They had 4 hits with runners in scoring position, 4 for 7 on the game. I still left 8 on base, so there was still some meat on the bone left here. But it's hard to complain when you're able to get those across. Like, it is what it is. Sometimes it's the unfortunate nature of when you have a lot of runners on and you're getting a lot of hits, you are going to leave runners on base. That's just part of it sometimes. I mentioned Michael Massey earlier. He had a hell of a game. He hits the home run off of gusto, works a walk later, not something he's really known for. And then he upturned one of the best double plays I've ever seen. And I know that sounds hyperbolic, but when you think about the situation, where and how the ball was fielded, like, the ball was almost by him. Isak Paredes hits like a slicing one-hopper over the second base bag. He makes the play, backhand flip to Garcia, who comes across the bag 1-2 and across to Vinny, gets out of the inning. And that play really took any momentum that Houston had and was gone, because they got a few on there in that inning, and it didn't matter. It didn't end up mattering. And the Royals you were up 7-0 at that point. If it gets to 7-2 there with the bases loaded, then you're in a spot where you got to kick it back in gear again. But they took all that momentum, and it took until, the late innings for Houston to get anything going again. It zapped them. And Ryan Lefebvre said it, that the crowd was silent after that, because it was just like, man, you've got to be kidding me. And it was an unbelievable play, and that's why Massey plays second base. That's why you have him out there. And I know that there are people that have been really critical that he's been in the lineup every day, and it's hard to blame them. He's been one of the worst qualified hitters in all of baseball. But when you play a plus defense up the middle, even if it is second base and it's not as important as shortstop, you still want catcher, middle infield, shortstop to be elite defensively. And the Royals have that in spades. And Bobby DH yesterday, but Michael came up as a shortstop, and he played it really well yesterday. And that's why Jonathan India has kind of shifted between left and third, even though the defense has not been great. Michael Massey is a great defender at second base. He's been one of the best in baseball since he became a big league regular. So that's why you see some of these things. Defense matters and has an incredible amount of value to a team, and Michael Massey has provided that. We'll talk about the game tonight coming up here right after this.
Shop Chiefs tickets and more with no fees. Plus, save big with code KCSN at ticketsforless.com, the official ticket provider of KC Sports Network.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
It's playoff time, and if you're still just watching games, then you're missing out. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. Just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Picks flex plays. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competitor, you could be looking at a 500 times bag in your pocket. And right now, new customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Sure, hit that like button and subscribe button on all platforms. I appreciate everyone that is giving the support on this show and continued support. I really, really appreciate it. Game tonight, a little bit of a tougher one. Royals lose 2-1. Not a lot of offense. Framber Valdez and Kris Bubic went back and forth and were both unbelievable tonight. Framber was incredibly pitch efficient. Royals kind of played into his hand. A lot of early count ground balls and, chasing change up curve in the dirt. Everything he's throwing is south of the belt. So, it invokes a lot of ground balls, invokes a lot of swing and miss. He only threw I don't even think he got to 90 pitches and got into the 7th inning. It was pretty unbelievable. I appreciate good pitching, and that's what Framber did tonight, to his credit. They were able to get a scratch one across Freddie Fermin, gets you one early. They had chances in this game. Bobby came up with a chance late and grounded out. Chased a 2-1 breaking ball that was never a strike out of the zone. It was one where he kind of puckered up a little bit, for the lack of a better term, and that's where you needed him to settle in and get it figured out. And 0 for 4 tonight was not what this team needed. Now, if I do want to talk about spin little positives a little bit, Indy had another 2 hits tonight. He had 3 hits last night. UOPS is up over 660 now. Seems like he's starting to move in a positive direction after he scuffled there for a little bit. I think he's starting to find himself a little bit. So if we do want to start to point to some positives on the offensive side, that would be one of them. I want to focus a lot of this conversation tonight on Kris Bubic. He was unbelievable tonight. Might be his best outing of the year. The home run he gave up to Jeremy Pena notwithstanding. It was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball in. Got the barrel to it, hit it over the Crawford boxes. It was one of those good pitch, good, better swing, and you move on. But he got 22 swings and misses tonight. 13 of them were on his fastball and gave up so much weak contact. The only really hard contact that he gave up was late in the game, on a couple of, as his pitch count started to wear. They had seen him a few times, but he had the fastball, the changeup, the sweeper. He had all of those working. There was not a lot of danger for him. He just looked in complete control and continues to build confidence. The called strike whip percentage tonight was 39%. He whiffed 22. It was just he just continues to impress. You almost run out of superlatives for what he is become. And I don't think even the most optimistic people when the conversation became Kris Bubic moving back to the rotation, could have seen this. A guy with a sub 1.7 ERA in mid-May. And it doesn't look like there's any signs of slowing down. There's not a lot here that makes me think, oh, something's going to turn the corner. We got to watch out for some stuff. He's not giving up a lot of hard contact outside of the home run. The strikeouts are there. He's done a really good job of keeping walks down outside of a couple of starts. He continues to build confidence with his fastball. He averaged 93.4 tonight, which is up a mile per hour from what we've seen. It's mostly been 92, 93. He had some 95s in there today, some 94s. Kind of wore a little bit as the game went on. Maybe some time with Cole Regas on how to kind of push and pull the velo to keep it sustained throughout an outing is maybe the next step. But even then, his fastball plays so well because of the induced vertical break that he gets. And he gets it's 94 with an induced vertical break of 18 inches. That's elite numbers. There were multiple pitches he threw tonight that maxed out at 21 vert. That's nuts. And it's just going to continue to stay that way. And we'll watch the numbers as the season goes, but he's commanding the breaking ball along with the fastball. He's confidently throwing his fastball in the strike zone. And it's like, here it is, hit it. And guys can't touch it because of the characteristics the fastball plays with. I'll call my shot now. Kris Bubic is going to be an all-star this year. I don't see any reason why this is just going to slow down for this guy. And this is everything the Royals could have dreamed from him when they drafted him in 2018 to him being the minor league pitcher of the year in all of minor league baseball. Through the trials and tribulations, he went through early in his career to Tommy John, to being an elite reliever, to now being an elite starting pitcher in a rotation filled with high-end starters. He's been the best so far. I don't know who could have seen this coming, even the most optimistic people. But what Kris Bubic has done and what he has meant to this team this year, you can quantify it as much as you want, but man, like this guy's been unbelievable, and I think he's going to represent the Royals in Atlanta later this summer, along with a handful of his teammates. Not a handful, but a few of his teammates. But he's going to be one of those guys because I don't see where this is going to slow down for him. I'm not going to talk Cy Young quite yet, but he is certainly in the conversation to be one of the best starters in all of baseball so far this year. So tomorrow it's going to be Michael Lorenzen going for the Royals, coming off a great start against the Boston Red Sox. We'll see if he's able to kind of keep things going. Now, the last time he was in a pretty hitter-friendly park in Baltimore, he got knocked around a little bit. The Royals are going to be facing a guy that is going to be making his major league debut, Colton Gordon. He's getting called up. The Astros are in the middle of a 17 games and 17-day stretch like we've seen the Royals do, so they're moving to a 6-man rotation for this spot here, moving Hunter Brown back a day. So far this year for the Sugarland Space Cowboys, elite minor league name, 2.55 ERA, 43 strikeouts, and 42 1/3. From some of the video I've seen, it's kind of a funky, kind of low 3/4 sidearm lefty. This could be a tricky spot just because there isn't a lot of tape on the guy, not a lot to report on. So we'll see how the Royals handle it. But this could be a situation where, hopefully they're able to jump on him like they did Ryan Gusto. We'll see what happens here. We will talk on Thursday night. We'll recap this game, and then we'll head into the weekend against St. Louis Cardinals. I'll try and bring some minor league stuff as well and talk through some standout performances there on the down on the farm. And hopefully we're going to talk through some potential promotions as well. Obviously the one obvious one, but some others as well. I appreciate everybody hanging out. A little shorter episode tonight. It's getting kind of late. I got to get to bed. I apologize that I kind of rambled and stuttered a little more than usual tonight, but I will get it cleaned up for the next episode. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk soon. Oh, before we get out of here, toast game to Kris Bubic. Again, I don't need to belabor the point. Amazing start. All right, there we go. I'll see you guys next time.